A while back, I made 2 videos talking about the atrocious 2021 remasters of the Grand Theft Auto PS2 trilogy. Although I said most of what I wanted to say in those 2 videos, a few new developments have come up since their release. Before we begin though, I just want to say that if you haven't watched those 2 videos, I heavily recommend you watch them before watching this video. Links will be in the description below. Also, if you are new to the channel, and you enjoy all 3 videos, then be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. Alright, with that said, let's start this off. Very recently, on January 19th, the game was released onto Steam. Prior to this, the only way you could play the game on PC was via the Rockstar Games launcher. I've already brought up the disastrous launch of the PC version, and how the game was unavailable to play for 3 days. Thankfully, nothing like that happened with this Steam version, but that doesn't make things better. Something that you should keep in mind is that this game is over a year old. In the time between the initial release of the game and the release of the Steam version, we had only gotten 2 patches. The first patch was in February 2022, and it fixed some of the bugs and glitches present in the game, but it unfortunately wasn't enough. The second patch was in October 2022, almost a year after the game was released, and from what I've heard, it barely fixed anything. And then the game gets released onto Steam, with 0 improvements from the previous patch. Even after over a year, the game is still in an unacceptable state, and this Steam port would further prove that there was no point in re-releasing the game. Just let the game die already. As if that wasn't enough, they are still charging $60 for the game, even though the game is over a year old. Now, I don't know how video game pricing works, but shouldn't a game's price lower down as time goes on? To use an example, an Xbox 360 game from 2011 would cost $60 upon its release. However, as the years go by, the game becomes cheaper and cheaper, to the point where the game only costs $10. Possibly less than that. I get that this is still a fairly recent game, but still, it's ridiculous that this game is over a year old, and still has numerous glitches in it, yet they're still charging you $60 to buy it. Apparently, in addition to coming out on Steam, Rockstar has also announced that the game will be coming to the Epic Games Store, and I'm surprised that I didn't bring this up in the first 2 videos. But mobile ports of the game were announced when the game was first announced, but have been delayed several times. I wouldn't be surprised if the Epic Games Store version ended up being like the Steam release of the game. And with regards to the mobile ports, I have quite a few things to say about them. First of all, as most of you know, these remasters were done by a studio known as Grove Street Games, who are also known as War Drum Studios, who are primarily known for porting console games onto mobile devices, which include the GTA Trilogy. Not to mention, as stated before, these games have graphics that are on par with those bootleg mobile GTA games that you would find on the App Store. Yeah, the jokes write themselves. But anyways, the mobile ports were initially going to come out in early 2022, but in May of that year, it was announced that the ports would be coming out in early 2023, specifically, before March 31st. Considering the fact that they didn't even try to fix the Steam release of the game, I heavily doubt that the Epic Games Store or mobile versions will turn out any better. I've heard rumors that Grove Street Games is no longer involved with the game, and that Rockstar themselves are now in charge of the game, but I cannot confirm that. Regardless, it's unacceptable how over a year later, the game is still in a buggy state. Oh yeah, there's another thing that I must bring up regarding this Steam release. One of the biggest reasons why the game is hated is because prior to its release, the original versions of the trilogy were removed from digital retailers. I did bring up that eventually, Rockstar brought back the original versions of the trilogy, and even made them free for a limited time if you purchased the defective edition. But what I didn't know at the time was that they only brought back the original games for the Rockstar Games launcher. The Steam releases of the original trilogy are still unavailable, and you can't play them unless you already owned them before they were taken down. So if you want to play the original GTA trilogy on a modern PC, you will have to either make an account on the Rockstar Games launcher, or purchase this garbage off of Steam. Again, it wouldn't be that bad if this Steam release actually fixed the issues that the game has, but it doesn't. Shortly after the initial release of the game, Rockstar released an article on their website, acknowledging that the game was released in a broken state, and promising to fix it with various updates in the months to come. That article was published on November 22, 2021. It is over a year old, and the game is still in a broken state. I'm disappointed that they would lie to us about this, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. You would think that all three games would have overly negative reviews on Steam, but no. All three games have mixed reviews, and to make things worse, the game was the 8th best-selling Steam game on the week of its release, which means that ignorant people will buy this broken garbage simply because it's GTA, not caring about the quality of the game. And it also means that Rockstar won't try and further improve the game. As long as the game sells and makes money, that's all that matters to them. And presumably, the exact same thing will happen when the Epic Games Store and mobile ports of the game both come out. Give me a break. I originally had no intentions to make this video, but two things had come up after part 2 was uploaded, that forced me to make this third part. The first thing was the game's recent Steam release, and the second thing is something that I did regarding the game, that I very heavily regret doing. In the first two videos, I made it clear that although I hate this game, I never actually played it, and I actually refused to even play it. However, sometime between Christmas 2022 and New Year's 2023, I went, and I actually bought the godforsaken game, and on the Nintendo Switch at that. The morbid curiosity got the best of me yet again. I received a GameStop gift card for Christmas, and I knew what I had to use it on, as there was no way I was gonna waste $60 on this trash. I don't know how much I spent on the game, but I don't think it really matters. I could have spent only $2 on the game, and it still would have been a massive waste of those $2. I originally intended for this third video to be a proper review of the game, after actually playing it, but I haven't actually played the game yet, and I don't know when I ever intend to play it and see how it is for myself. Thankfully, the game's recent Steam release allowed me to make a third video without playing the game. I don't intend on making more videos on the game for the time being, as I have other video ideas that I would rather focus on, but I have two plans for what will happen once I make those later reviews. The first plan is that I make a fourth video talking about all three games, and possibly a fifth video that acts as a conclusion to these reviews. The second plan is that the fourth, fifth, and sixth videos are all dedicated to the three games. Part 4 would be about GTA 3, Part 5 would be about Vice City, and Part 6 would be about San Andreas. After that, there would be a potential seventh part that acts as a conclusion to these reviews. Most likely, I will go with the latter plan, but we'll see how things turn out. One thing I will say though, is that thanks to the built-in video recorder on the Switch, I could be able to record my own gameplay footage of the game. Another thing as well, as most of you know, the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch are notoriously broken, and I haven't been able to repair my own Joy-Cons, which will make the game even more fun for me, especially on certain missions. Wrong Side of the Tracks is one of the most infamously hard missions in any GTA game, and I imagine that, combined with the Joy-Con drift, would be a disaster waiting to happen. Even if this game was good, this would still be a massive problem, but the fact that the game is, really awful, makes this even worse. As stated before though, I'm putting all future videos about this game on hold, as there are other videos that I'm more interested in making right now. One more thing before I end things off. There's been a rumor going around for a while that, allegedly, we were gonna get remasters of both GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption, but they have both either been cancelled, or put on hold indefinitely. The reasons are either because of how bad the trilogy turned out, or because Rockstar would rather put all of their focus on GTA 6, or most likely, a combination of both. This is slightly unrelated, but allegedly, ports of Red Dead Redemption 2 for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 have also either been cancelled, or put on hold, because of Rockstar wanting to focus on GTA 6, and yet, they were able to release a port of a much older game from the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 era onto those two systems. Because that makes perfect sense. But anyways, I have no idea if the rumors of a scrapped GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption remaster are true. They probably are not true, but I can honestly see them being true, especially with regards of the two not moving forward with production because of the trilogy. I just want to say, although it would be great to play these two games on modern day gaming systems, I would much rather not have either one turn out like this game. Of the big 5 GTA games, please spare GTA 4. I don't want it to get the same garbage treatment that the other 4 main GTA games have gotten. I just wanted to briefly bring this up, since I doubt I will talk about it in any future video that I make on this game. Additionally, when the Epic Games Store and mobile ports of the game both come out, I will most likely not talk about them either, since I don't know what I could say about them that hasn't already been said about the Steam version. My next video on this game will be after I actually play the game. Whether I make one giant video covering all 3 games, or 3 separate videos talking about each game, I have yet to decide, but it doesn't matter, because those videos are not coming out for quite a while. Anyways, that's about it. I know this video was kind of weak compared to the first 2 videos, but I'm not sure what else there is to say about the game before I actually play it. Additionally, I do have other videos that I really want to focus on, and I just wanted to get this video out of the way. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.